Here we're looking at a report called Adjusting Journal Entries. Now this report is very cool. When you run the report, set the dates. In this case, we're setting the dates for the end of the month where we entered our adjusting entries. This window automatically shows our adjusting entries only. Now, how does it know which entries to show on June 30th? Well, in the window called Make General Journal Entries window, I'm going to show all the adjusting entries. When we enter one of these, there's a little checkbox that says Adjusting Entry. So because this is checked, and because these were entered in the Make General Journal Entries window, they will show up on this report. Now, however, this report is not always available in every single version of QuickBooks. So sometimes you only have the journal. So here we have the journal, and let me unfilter it because I forgot that I want to start with this unfiltered. So when we first run this report, we set the dates to June 30th to June 30th. So in other words, it's showing us the transactions entered on June 30th. And it shows our adjusting journal entries. AJE stands for adjusting journal entries. However, when we scroll down here, we see we also have a check that was written to Lee Power Company for utilities expense. Now, this is not an adjusting entry, but because it was written on and entered on the day that all the adjusting entries were created, then it's going to show up on this report. So the question becomes, how do I filter out anything that was not an adjusting entry? Well, notice these adjusting journal entries were all entered over here in the type column in the window called General Journal. Really, the General Journal, what they're talking about when they say that, they're talking about the window called Make General Journal Entries, which is this window. So I'm going to close this. So what we want to tell this report is show only the transactions entered in this journal. So it will filter out everything else, including this check. So to do that, to filter out everything except for the journal transactions, we click on Customize Report, we click on Filters, and we scroll down here till we find Transaction Type. And it's way at the bottom, so I just recommend going all the way to the bottom. Click here one time, and then you can see it. Of course, you can just scroll down one at a time if you want. Now over here, it's asking us, because we selected transaction type here, it says, of the transaction types, what types do you want to see? So I want to click on journal, which means it will filter out everything else. In other words, anything that was written in the check window or the deposit window will be filtered out. So I'm going to click on journal. And then over here, just for your information, it shows the filter. You can always remove the filter if you wanted to by single clicking and click remove filter. I don't want to remove the filter, I just entered it. I'm going to click OK, and then when I click OK, this Lee Power Company should be filtered out because it was entered in the checks window. And then now we have the journal only showing the adjusting journal entries that were entered in the general journal on June 30th to June 30th. So in other words, on that same day. And that's it.